Hi everyone, today we're going to be making Vietnamese beef noodle soup. It's also called pho and it does require beef bones, so it's not vegetarian friendly, but if you do want me to make a vegetarian version, please leave a comment in the comments below and I will honor your request. So I believe that some of the main components of this dish are star anise, beef bones of course, and cinnamon. All of those flavors melt together and they make an amazing broth. Don't forget some sweetness from the rock sugar and some saltiness from the, fish sauce. So the first thing you're going to need here is some beef tendon. Next you're going to need some beef neck bone. And thirdly you're going to need, this is for the beginning of the broth by the way, you're going to need some beef neck bone. Oh wait, I already said that. You're going to need some beef knee bone, which is what we have here. And you're just going to take all of these bones, place them in a stock pot. I used a 10-quart stock pot, and then you're going to pour some water on top of the bones, just to cover them, and you're going to bring that to a boil, and this is going to clean the bones. Bring it to a boil for about 10 to 20 minutes. And now, while that bone mixture is coming to a boil, you're going to want to slice up 2 onions and 1 thumb-sized piece of ginger. Slice the onions in half and slice the ginger into about 4 or 5 pieces. You're really going to want to slice the ginger into smaller pieces. It's going to release more of its flavor. And what you're going to do with that is place all of those under a broiler, or you can just place it in the oven on 400 degrees for about until as long as the bones take to boil. So next, after you place your onion and ginger into the oven, just check on your bones to make sure they've boiled enough. This is what it looks like after about 20 minutes of boiling. I'm just going to fish out the bones now. And the point of this is to, kind of clean the pot, rinse out all of that scum water. Make sure you rinse the bones as well. So we're going to rinse the bones and clean the pot, empty all of that water out because we don't want any of that in our broth. Also make sure to rinse under some hot water because there are some pieces of scum that stick onto the bones. After you're done with that, you're going to add your onions and ginger from the oven to your pot. The reasons why we added the onion and ginger into the oven was so that we could bring out some of the oils in the onion and ginger. Place them into the pot with the bones along with your beef tendon, fill it up with water, and you want to simmer this. Simmer the broth for about 3 hours. If you're wondering why it has to be simmering and not boiling, I'll talk about all of that on the blog post, which is in the link below. And here we have some palm sugar that we're going to add to the broth to give it some sweetness. We also have some rock sugar. I'm sure you can just use the rock sugar, or you can just use white sugar if you don't have rock sugar. I just tend to use rock sugar because that's what all of the YouTube chefs are using to make their pho. So yeah, I'm a confirmist, pun intended. So yes, just add your sugar into the broth. And by the way, that is not a spider on top of that onion in the background. It does look like a spider, but what it really is the onion root. I forgot to film, I added a 1/4 cup of fish sauce into the dish. This really added some saltiness, some brininess into the dish. You can also use beef bouillon or just add, extra table salt. I just feel like fish sauce gives it a really, really different flavor component. It adds wonderful, balance of flavors. And here in the spice bag, I'm just adding some star anise, cinnamon, and coriander. The exact amounts will be on the website. However, you can do whatever you want. If you look at different pho recipes, you'll see that the spices vary based on, what flavor you want to taste. But the 2 things I would not neglect are star anise and cinnamon. So take your rice noodles, which I also got from the Asian grocery store, pour some hot water on it, and let it soften for about 30 seconds. Pour the water out, and here I've added some beef tendon slices. As you can see, the beef tendon really softened up over time in the broth. The broth gave its flavor to the tendon. It really infused its flavor into the tendon, and the tendon gave some of its viscosity to the broth. So it really balances out. The broth now has a wonderful viscosity. I'm also adding some beef slices and a beef bone and one of the pieces of meat from the beef bone. And this is the beauty of making your dish at home. You can add whatever you want to it. You can add lobster, you can add shrimp, you can add chicken. And here I'm just adding some green onions and cilantro on top. It adds a very nice freshness to add some herbs to your dish. You are the chef and you are in control of your own dish. Remember that. Also, there was quite a bit of information that I didn't really mention in this video. This video was kind of just an overview of my recipe on the blog post, so definitely go to the blog post. I think I said it like 3 times in this video. It'll be worth it. And I know I'm not really supposed to promote other people because making videos on YouTube is about yourself, I guess, but I really do encourage you to look up some other pho recipes. Get the general idea of making your own bowl of pho, because it really does not do justice to just look at one recipe online. So enjoy some of the shots of this beautiful bowl of pho. If you don't make this, I will be very upset. But if you do make it, please leave some suggestions in the comments, or some, reviews of what the soup tasted like for you, if you liked it or not, if you liked the video, just anything in general. I love feedback. Enjoy this amazing bowl of pho. I also forgot to mention that I did run into quite a bit of trouble while filming this recipe. I kind of dropped the camera into my bowl of pho at the end, so I included some of the bloopers. They're coming up in like 30 seconds or like 10 seconds. So yeah, enjoy the bloopers.
What happened?
Something terrible. Something terrible happened.
Oh, you put it too low. Or it fell. Doesn't still work.
I hope so.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm horrified right now. I'm so horrified right now.